So if I am formally calling us to order. If Anita, can you do the roll call in Craig's absence?
Nancy keeps popping up on my screen like she's coming in, and then I'm not seeing an opportunity to open her just yet.
Oh.
Benita, do you need anyone to reach out to tech staff at all? I don't know if they're really available, but or is that, have we mostly figured it out?
Were you talking to me, Travis?
Yeah. Do you think we need to reach out to IT at all, or is it an issue that is maybe, I mean, most of us are getting in at this point.
Yeah, no, it was my fault earlier, but as you all started rolling in, she shouldn't have any problem. She's on the exact, I sent her the link again, so, and I'll just, if you want me to just go ahead and do the roll call.
Yeah, let's do that.
I'll start with John Kotarski.
Here.
David Esau.
Here, do we still need to say from Ann Arbor?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, let's do that.
Present from Ann Arbor.
Thank you, David.
Yes, thank you. Allison Buck.
Present in Ann Arbor.
Peggy Weir-Leonard. Sophie Grenier.
Here in Ann Arbor.
Sarah Fuller.
Here in Ann Arbor.
Marietta Porter.
Here in Ann Arbor.
Jamal Bufford.
Here in Superior Township.
Thank you. Travis Wendini.
Here in Ann Arbor.
Okay. And yeah, you were gonna mention Wasenta resigning, right?
Yep, I was gonna do that later. But Wasenta's not with us tonight. She decided to resign from the commission earlier this week. She just has other applications that have pulled her away too often, and she feels she can't contribute enough. So she's going to be stepping down. So that means we have a vacancy. And if you guys are aware of anyone who you think would be a good fit, then let us know. They would need to apply online, and then they have to be approved by the mayor. But then that's the formal process. So next on our agenda is the approval of the agenda. If I have a motion for approval. Thank you, Sarah. David, is that a second?
Yep.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Great. The agenda is approved. Is she still popping up for you over there, Benita?
No.
Do you want me to give her a call on her cell phone?
I think we should just go ahead and keep going. It's okay.
Okay. Next, after the public comment, which there is no public, unless, is Tim part of CDN? Or approval of the minutes is next on the agenda. So Vanina sent over some minutes for us to review. Do I have a motion to approve? Thank you, Sarah. Second, David?
Yep.
Any discussion of the minutes?
I have some comments. Under the introduction of Jamal, it has his My Brother's Keeper Project Specialist title in there twice, one of which is misspelled. So we should get that corrected, or maybe just eliminate the duplication.
Okay.
And then in the part about Jennifer Goulet's public comment section is oddly written, partly as if it was writing what Jennifer said, and partly as if it was a transcript of what Jennifer said. And some of it's kind of garbled. Maybe we can just say Jennifer Goulet introduced the Ypsilanti Arts Commission, and leave it at that and leave out all the rest of it rather than trying to clear it up.
I mean, I'm fine with that. I think the first part, she kind of talks about how she looks forward to us having a great partnership moving forward. I think that's good. But definitely could be summarized. Any other comments or discussion? Yes, John.
How are we leaving this? I mean, what are the minutes we'll be asked to vote on? Something be summarized or something be stricken? What exactly?
So there's a first introductory paragraph that says Jennifer wishes to start an ongoing collaboration between the Ypsilanti Arts Commission and the Ann Arbor Public Art Commission. Thank you to Allison, who will join our commission meeting on August 19th. I think from that point down, it could just be Jennifer summarizes the work of the Ypsilanti Arts Commission.
Sounds good.
Yes, Sophie?
Would it make sense if we just delete the last paragraph and keep the rest? Politically?
It's the third paragraph that's pretty garbled, is my opinion.
Okay. Well, perhaps it
I
can be.
don't think it really matters for the minutes. There's nothing official in it, so I guess we can keep it. It's just a little embarrassing as a representation of our commission.
I agree with David.
I think her presentation is also something that is accessible in addition to the minutes. So if people wanted more details about the presentation, that would be accessible too.
Yeah, a PowerPoint presentation, right? So maybe
Yeah.
we could ask if we could hyperlink to the PowerPoint presentation, and that would.
Well, I think it would have been included because it was part of our packet of that meeting, so it should be included with all the meeting stuff.
The video should be online, shouldn't it?
The Zoom video.
Can't you go back and rewatch those? Or the CTN?
You can go back and watch the CTN, yeah, the whole meeting. Yeah. Yeah, so the minutes don't have to go in super detail about what she said. So I guess at this point, if those changes are friendly to Sarah and David, we could move forward to approve the minutes. That's my understanding of how this discussion works.
Just a clarification. So we're keeping the first paragraph ending in August 19th meeting period. And then after that, Jennifer summarizes her presentation.
Jennifer summarizes the work of the Ypsilanti Arts Commission.
Excellent. And the rest of it's deleted.
Yes.
Excellent. Great.
So, yes, Jamal.
Also, I can make some. I was noticing there was my description looked a little jumbled as well, so I can like edit that and send it to someone.
Benita does all of our minutes. Yeah. So if you see any just grammatical things here and there, and you want to just email them to her, that's the easiest way for her just to go in and kind of fix those types of things. Yeah, that would be great. So at this point, with those changes, do I see a motion to approve the minutes? John, second. Sarah, okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the minutes are approved. Benita, I saw you on the phone. Are we going to have a presentation? No, okay. Lost my place. All right. That's those minutes. That's why I'm confused. All right. So old business. I think this is where you take it away, Benita. You are muted though, Benita. Oh, I see Nancy. Hello, Nancy.
I made it.
You made it in.
I don't know how, but I made it.
Excellent. Well, we can, Vanita, if you want to hold off on old business, we can pop back to our public comment and welcome Nancy to present.
Thank you. I have a PowerPoint. Can I share the screen?
Yeah.
With you?
Yeah. We can try.
Okay. Oops. That's too big. You covered up my PowerPoint. Can you go back a bit? You know what I mean? I can't get into my PowerPoint because I don't know what this is. Oh, good. Okay. Now let's see what this. Let's see if I can do this. There. Okay. Do you hear me?
Yep.
Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Good. Shall I start?
Yes. We don't see a screen right now, Nancy. Are you sharing a screen?
You don't see anything?
We see all of us.
What's
No, we
that?
just see all our smiling faces. We don't see your computer screen right now.
Let me go back. Okay. I'm going to share. And I'm going to hit what I'm going to share. And let's see if it'll come up. There. Now do you see it? Or not?
I do not. It's coming up now. I see your browser. So if it's within your browser.
There she is. She's on now. Do you see it now?
Yeah, well,
Okay, what do you see it now?
It's your email.
No, we just see your browser right now. So you've shared your browser. Is your PowerPoint in your browser or on your internet? When you go to share screen, it asks you what type of screen you want to share.
There it
Oh,
is.
that looks like it.
Did I do it?
I think we're there now.
Okay, you see embracing our differences?
I do.
Wonderful. Okay, I will start. Sorry about that. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to telling you about Embracing Our Differences, which is a really wonderful program that we saw. It's an art and education program that we saw in Sarasota, Florida. This program has run in Sarasota for 18 years. What they do is they send out a call for art about diversity, all kinds of diversity, race, sex, LGBTQ, handicaps, mental health, over the internet. Last year, they received 15,000 art pieces from all over the world. These art pieces were done by adults and children. The jury selected 50 of the art pieces. They blew them up and they displayed them in parks, in a park in Sarasota. Through an agreement with Sarasota, we will use their art as well as local art. We're putting out a call for local art. We will blow them up to billboard size, and we'll put them in Gallup Park, in Leslie Park, in Ann Arbor, in Riverside Park, and Parkridge Community Center in Ypsilanti, beginning April through August. The park sites will be the beginning of discussions, ideas, and feelings about how we approach all types of diversity in our lives. Here are a few more of the pieces of art to show you. This piece says, "Stand in my shoes." If we were to exchange shoes, would you be willing to wear mine? Be different. Anyone can fit in, but it takes true courage to stand out. While the art exhibit is the showcase of embracing our differences, the real strength lies in the educational support for teachers. There is school curriculum that has been prepared by specialists for all grades, kindergarten through high school, to supplement and enhance the teachers' lesson plans at no cost to the schools. Students participate in year-round activities based upon a well-planned curriculum of art appreciation, social emotional learning, and diversity education. Teacher workshops will be offered at no cost to the schools. Education will happen in the parks as well. We plan to offer free school trips for school classes and for camps during the summer to go to the park. There will be high school students and adults who will be trained as docents to discuss and probe the messages behind each poster and generate discussions among the visitors. The need. Children and adults as well don't always have the words to express how they feel. And these feelings can often result in negative and aggressive behaviors. That is why art is so important. The art and the quotes can be used as tools to spark discussions. Building a society in which all people can feel equal and safe and admired and affirmed sounds easy, but achieving such a goal takes community-wide education and ongoing support. Such an effort is rare and greatly needed. This program strives to bring together a wide and diverse population to work together, to expand consciousness, and to open the heart to celebrate the diversity of the human family. Here are a couple more slides. It says, Tiny Guardian, a single act of kindness can be an action that saves someone's life. Diversity fingerprint. The fact that everybody has a unique fingerprint proves that each person is meant to be different. Our colorful world. A better society is not a creation, but a collaboration. How you can help. We have had wonderful offers of support from many people, from all the different organizations that we have talked with. The Ann Arbor and Ipsy Chamber of Commerce has made us an honorary member and will use their whole mailing list for us. The Hands-On Museum wants the banners to be in Leslie Park, and they're also going to have it running in big television sets at the museum. The Ann Arbor Parks and Recreation Department and the Ypsilanti Parks and Recreation Department have both offered space, reserved space at no cost for this program. The mayors of both cities have been involved. The Ann Arbor Summer Festival wants to do pop-up concerts at the various sites. Sheriff Jerry Clayton plans to hold an art contest among inmates. He wants to have the contest, the banner that wins the contest be blown up and shown in our parks as well. Jewish synagogues and Muslim mosques have decided to have joint visits with their children down at some of the sites. And I can go on and on, but I won't. These are just many of the different organizations we have talked with and have given us ideas of how they would like to be involved. So, how you can be involved. You can tell everybody about the exhibit. You can become a docent. You can help raise funds. And you can think of how the commission might be able to promote diversity in all of your programs and work with us. Thank you very much. I appreciate allowing me to present this. And I think I go off now. Yeah. Nope. Oh, there. Am I back?
Yes.
Good. I'm open for questions, suggestions, ideas.
I just had one question. What did you say the timeline was?
We're going to be open. We hope to be out April through August. We're thinking April, May, and June, so the school classes can come down. And then June, July, and August, so the camps can come down. We have just applied for a 501c3, and we'll be getting that fairly soon.
And when is your call for artists?
The call for artists is going to go out in November, and I have the schedule here somewhere. The call for artists is going to go out in November with a deadline of January 3. We're going to also have a contest among local artists. So there'll be a prize for the adult Best in Show, and there'll be 3 prizes for the Best in Show High School, Best in Show Middle School, and Best in Show Elementary. Yes.
I think it's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful, yes. I'm impressed by the collaborators. You really have networked within the community, both in Ann Arbor and in Ipsy. We want to collaborate with the Ypsilanti Public Arts Commission. So kudos to that. This is, is a great way of doing it. But I'm impressed that you've tied in the hands-on museum, the parks, local artists, and you're connecting with the event in Sarasota. So you're learning some ways they have done it over the years, and it'll be a big splash, these billboard-sized, pieces of public art, and the idea of diversity is so topical today. So absolute kudos, and I'm wondering if Travis might be able to promote this or present this or suggest this to council. It's possible that Nancy could maybe present at council. I mean, it's a great presentation. It's short, it's concise, it's impactful, impressive. So, but I leave it to Travis with and there's a lot of other kinds of things happening at council that maybe this would be a different approach to something. But in any event, well done, well done.
Thank you, John. I only presented a few of the different organizations that we've met with. There's been over 30 that we've met with, and they're all very excited. So we're very pleased. Yes.
First of all, thank you for sharing that. I think this is an incredible project, and looking forward to seeing it. I was wondering, you might have said it, or it might not actually even be set up yet, but I was wondering, do you know how artists can submit their art? Just thinking about there might be any artists with tech barriers or anything like that. Do you know how artists can submit?
It's going to be online. The person who's in charge of the submission is a former retired art teacher from Ypsilanti. Her name is Lynn Settlers. And so she, I guess, has the ability and knows much more than I do about how you put out a call for art on the internet. So this will be going out November 1st. Okay. And we'll also mail it out. If you have artists that you would like us to mail to, please get back to me and we will make sure that they get a call for art. And I'm open to suggestions of how else to do it. I think she has a pretty good handle on how you do that, though.
Yeah, I don't know Lynn personally, but I know a lot of people know her. I think she has it all taken care of. But
good.
But yeah, that's good to know. Thank you very
good.
much.
Of course, yes. And the sheriff told me I should call you, as a matter of fact, for my brother's keeper. I should involve in my brother's keeper. He really wanted to get my brother's keeper involved, and I would like to. And I tried to email you, so I'll keep trying.
Okay, well, you might, we'll connect. We'll definitely.
Good, thank you.
Nancy, how do we get in touch if we want to suggest places to advertise to artists to put the call to art?
Why don't you email me? And my email is, you can write NN, like Nancy, two N's, NN Margolis, MARGOLIS, as in Sam, at AOL.com. I'm still AOL. I guess I'm one of the few people in the world still doing AOL. And then Margolis at AOL.com. And I will make sure that they get a notice of it.
What are the funding sources?
I'm sorry?
What are the funding sources?
That's a very good question. We have sent in a grant to the county. Gregory Jill, when I first met with him, said, Nancy, I love it, send me a proposal and we'll make it happen. So I did that, and I'm just waiting to hear from the county. We sent in a proposal to the Ann Arbor Area Community Foundation. We're waiting to hear from them. We sent in a proposal to Toyota for helping to get transportation monies for transporting the students, and waiting to hear from them. What other proposals have we sent in? I think that's it so far. We did get a grant from Comcast. We'll be sending a proposal to Old National Bank, and I'm very open to other suggestions of other possible funding sources. I know that I'm going to, in the new year, it's a little too early yet, we'll be sending something to Kiwanis as well as the other organizations. Many funding sources start February, or their deadlines are February. I think I might send something to the sheriff. What do you think? Should I send something to him? The sheriff? I don't know if he has money or not, but we'll try. So in other words, we're sending proposals for funding to all the different government organizations, many different foundations. And our community foundation is helping us find other family foundations will be interested as well. So we feel confident that we will be able to have the money. It's actually a fairly small budget. The whole budget is about 150. The actual money we need to get off the ground is $30,000 to buy the scaffolding to hold and that's like a one-time expense because we'll have that from year to year. To blow up the banners is about $20,000. So it's a $50,000 we need day one before we can do anything. But I think we'll get that.
Nancy, I think this is a wonderful idea. And I just had a question actually about the curriculum for teachers.
Yes.
I think that's a really wonderful addition to this type of idea. And I was wondering what that curriculum looks like and how it's distributed.
I would love you to see it. And it's actually on the internet. It's from Sarasota. Sarasota has put on the internet a wonderful whole program of education. Their website is embracingourdifferences.org. And you go on there and you'll see education. And you pull down education, you'll see all types of activities that they have available for the teachers by grade. So that you can literally go into kindergarten and there will be a video and a PowerPoint and then some written curriculum for kindergarten all the way up through high school. It's really quite amazing what they have, and it's available. It's on the internet, so it's available for everyone to use.
Thank you.
I will be making, let me just point out, I was asked to make a presentation to WISD in February, so I'll be talking about that for the teachers and the principals who come to this February meeting on WISD. Again, a Zoom.
You mentioned that Sarasota had been doing this for about 18 years. Are you expecting that this initiative with Ann Arbor and IPSI would be a reoccurring event?
Absolutely.
And if so, are you thinking about that in terms of your funding requests? So thinking about we need this much to start up for this year, but we'd like to do this again next year or for 5 years down the road.
We hope this will become an annual event. Our thinking is that we will form this organization. Probably in a year or two, we'll hire staff. Programs like this can't operate totally forever with volunteers. So the hope is that we will have funds for next year. We'll raise enough money this year to carry over for next year so that the staff can take it on and do all the fundraising. The sheriff had a great idea when I met with him. He said we should have an auction, and at the end of the program, auction off the banners and raise money for the coming year. The question is, who wants a 16-foot banner, and what would you do with it? But I think it's a cute idea. We might do it.
Great idea.
That's always a great idea, and you can get a lot of art from the community to be donated to something like that.
Well,
in addition to,
right, yes. What Sarasota does, and we were thinking of doing this as well. At the end of the season, they give a banner to each of the schools, and the schools can keep them and put them there. They're good enough to be outside, or they can be inside. So we'll see whether the schools would like them. We'll have enough for Ann Arbor and Ypsilanti, actually, if we have 50 altogether.
Great. Any last minute questions for Nancy or any questions for us, Nancy, before we let you go?
No, thank you. What is the procedure? Do you have to approve this, or how does it work? Or does it go to City Council? Or is this...
No, if you're working directly with City Parks for their project, we don't need to necessarily approve it. We can, I think we've all said the project was awesome. If you needed our vote of approval, we could do that. But you've already got your partnerships moving forward. As far as funding goes, we don't have our own budget funding, we don't have any of that, but we will have our strong support.
Wonderful. That would be nice to be able to say if we have, if not a vote of approval, at least strong support. That would be wonderful.
Yeah, you can quote us on that.
Yeah, good. The city parks, by the way, have been fabulous. I mean,
Great.
and Arbor was just wonderful. They really took it and they're going to run with it. They're going to help us get out. We will do the bidding, but they will help us find the right contractors to do the scaffolding and the right contractors to install for us, both in Ann Arbor and Ypsilanti. We'll have the same contractor doing that.
Great.
So thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Allison, would it be possible for us to have just a motion of support, an official sort of motion supporting this particular project, so at least Nancy could take that with her as she does? I don't know.
Sure. John puts forward a motion of support. Do we have a second?
Yes.
I see like everyone's hand is a second. We'll take David's. All in favor? Any opposed? Project supported.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yes.
You want to take the meeting now?
Yeah. Have a good evening.
Thank you all. I appreciate all your ideas. Thanks so much.
Nancy.
I'll see you at the park.
Thank you.
So next on our agenda,
I'm trying to leave, but I can't. It says end meeting for all. You don't want me to do that.
You're probably still the host.
Oh, is that the problem? Yes.
Benita needs to take that back.
thank you for not terminating our meeting.
If you want, wouldn't that have been awful?
We've had enough technical difficulties this evening with.
I'll click at the top, but I'm afraid to. I don't want to be on it. Maybe you can take me off, or I'll just stay.
We have an opening, Nancy. You could join our group.
Actually, Nancy, you may need to, if I'm looking at the participant list, right, you may have to give Anita host responsibility. Oh, there.
Oh, Benita's the host now. So I think you can go ahead and.
Good.
Bye, Nancy.
It worked.
Yay! So Benita, we're back to you. You're back in the hot seat. We've got old business for you to tell us, and you're muted right now. You're still muted, Benita. Benita, you're muted.
So the Ann Arbor Art Center alley projects, we have staff from systems planning, staff from engineering, working directly with Andrew and Mr. Ennis. I'm also looking out for Craig to take a look at a few of the alleys one-on-one when he's back from vacation in about 2 weeks. I think they're still struggling a little bit with some of the height issues. So we're still working on that.
I saw, Benita, in the agenda, it said that the city continues to work the details and will implement the alley projects in a similar fashion to the city gallery. I don't understand how it's a similar fashion to the city
We're
gallery.
going to flow the alley projects through the Ann Arbor Art Center, just as we're doing currently with the city gallery.
So we're paying them?
No, they're going to be the contract holder for the alleyway projects.
So
Just because they're using the city alleys?
So the city gallery project, we reached out to them. Well, actually, there was a bid put out to see who wanted to do the gallery in the where the city council meets, and they bid for it and they got on it. These alleyway project, my understanding is the art center wanted to do projects in the alleyway, so they're doing the projects. So I guess I'm confused why we're contracting them to do it.
It's probably just similar in the sense of using city property or for an art project, but we're not paying them in the same way as the city gallery.
Right.
It would just be a portion of that agreement.
So just because it's city property, there has to be that contract in place.
Yeah.
contract is related because the alleys are in the historic district, or?
A portion, I believe one of the alleys that they want to use may be in proximity to an historic building, so they needed to have a contract.
Great. The next piece of old business is the Golden Paintbrush Award update. Sarah, do you have an update for us?
I do have an update. So the good news is that we were able to facilitate our judges meeting and choose 5 projects to award for the Golden Paintbrush Award. The next steps will be to get our Golden Paintbrush group back together to facilitate the People's Choice Award. And then, Allison and I on the marketing group can work together to figure out when and how we will announce this with our marketing funds that we set aside in the Observer. This is a bit of a delay, and I apologize just due to personal and work schedules. Over the past month, it's been a little difficult to get this moving, but we are going to work hard to make sure that we can make these announcements before the end of the year. We have beautiful awards ready to give the recipients, and I want to give a big thank you to Vanita and Sophie for working so hard also on facilitating that meeting. I think we had a really, really wonderful conversation between ourselves and the judges, and what we were able to do was also get a lot of feedback from our judges that we can use towards next year's Golden Paintbrush Award, ways to make it more accessible and more efficient for years to come. So next steps, of course, will be just getting back together to make sure that we can get the word out for the People's Choice Award announcements, and then of course the actual award presentation at a city council meeting with the mayor.
Thank you, Sarah.
Have the awardees or the ones getting the award been notified yet?
They have not been notified yet. So
I won't ask you to tell me who they all are right now.
Yes, that we will identify and let everyone know. Something we were doing during the meeting was also realizing that a lot of different people and organizations are responsible for these awards. So part of what we were doing was also identifying who the award should actually go to, the organizations that were behind these awards, because it is so often such a group effort. And that's potentially something we should think about with, next year's Golden Paintbrush Awards, are how to make these awards something where we can give multiple groups and organizations and people that are involved in these projects a little bit of recognition for something. Of course, they can always be invited to the actual award ceremonies, but to get some sort of certificate or award is perhaps something we should be thinking about for future awards as well.
Sophie?
Yeah, we'll be meeting and discussing it anyway, but I think we had said that a large number of people could get certificates, but the tile or the physical award would go to probably to one individual. So I think we can hand out lots and lots of certificates, but we'll have to see how that works, because obviously you want to make sure everybody in the entire city kind of gets diluted, but we'll certainly be discussing that at the next meeting.
Well, the nice thing about tile awards is actually the more we make, the better, if they are to be Motawi Tile Awards. So we can make a lot of awards and give them out to pretty much everyone involved. Something to think about for the future.
Yeah, I'm excited to see who wins and get that announcement out there. Great work. John, you had your hand up.
Yes, I must have missed the email. Who were the judges?
So our judges, we had Nancy, and I'm forgetting Nancy's last name. I know I have it in my notes.
Nancy Wolf.
Yes, Nancy Wolf. And then we had, let me look at Naomi Herzog and Meredith.
Bruckner.
Yes.
And Lisa Barry couldn't make it to the meeting, if I remember
Lisa
rightly.
Barry, yeah, she was on NPR when we were trying to, have this meeting. So she was going to try and come in and out of the meeting, but unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, she was, working with NPR, was unable to leave to be able to record those. But we had a really wonderful conversation about art, about these awards, and about the future of the Golden Paintbrush Award.
I don't recognize the names. Are these all artists?
Nancy Wolf is a working artist. Meredith is a journalist that writes about art. And Naomi Herzog, I believe, runs the Jewish Community Center here in Ann Arbor.
Meredith runs all about Ann Arbor.
Meredith
yeah,
runs all about
yeah.
Ann Arbor.
Nancy Wolf is an adjunct professor, but she also used to be the curator for the Kerrytown Concert Hall exhibitions. I think she recently retired from that. The interesting thing I thought from the discussions we had was that people started with one view, and as we discussed and talked about the different things, people changed their minds about what they would vote for, which is something you don't often see. And it was very interesting for people to see their thinking evolve in what they would like to award the Golden Paintbrush to.
I do think a big theme was accessibility in terms of public art. That this is not a private space, that you need to be a patron of a certain business to walk into and see, and you do not need to be a resident of a particular neighborhood to be able to access this art. But this is a place that is easily accessible for the entire community and public to see, and therefore also visitors of our community. So that was a really interesting conversation to have about public art, which is why we're all here in the first place. And I thought it was really a wonderful conversation. I was happy to be a part of.
Thank you.
Great. Let us know if you need us to help in any way with the People's Choice Award, telling people to go vote or whatnot.
We probably will need to do that, yes.
Okay. All right. The next thing on our agenda is new business. There's nothing on the agenda, but this is where I was going to mention that Wasantha had resigned and we have an opening. I said it earlier. I'm going to reiterate it. So you guys can help us fill that vacancy. That would be great. I also wanted to say that since our last meeting, as Jennifer mentioned, I went to the Ypsilanti Arts Commission meeting and presented. It was a really nice meeting. I told them all the stuff we've been up to, and they seemed excited about collaborating with us in the future. So we'll see where that leads. It was very nice to see Aaron Seagraves. He's on that commission, and say hello to him. For those of you who don't know, he was on city staff for some time as the city staff person for the Arts Commission, us. So it's good to see him and kind of give him an update about what we were doing and how things were going. The other thing to mention, in December was usually when we do our retreat, where we discuss what we would like to be focusing on this year. We set goals, And that also is generally how our working groups are generated based off of those goals. So based on the work that we'd like to be doing and or are supposed to be doing by our bylaws, that's where our working groups come from. So we do have a meeting in December on December 1st. We could just make that a long meeting. It would be kind of a late night to do it from 7:30 on, because generally the retreat is, I don't know, 3 hours. We usually eat bagels and kind of talk a lot. So we haven't done one as a Zoom meeting yet. So we could schedule a separate meeting, or we could try to bang it out that night. So it's kind of up to you guys how you want to handle that. And John, is that when we do some voting? I feel like at the end of the year is also when there's some leadership voting stuff happening that we forgot to do last year.
Yeah, they have to be in place in January. So
right.
Yes. So the December meeting, we need to vote.
So if anyone would like to put their hat in the ring for chair, you're welcome to. I will be stepping down from chair when my thing's done, or in January. I think it's in May. I don't have it in front of me.
Allison?
Yeah.
Usually the way that has worked is that we have surveyed everyone regarding interest in leadership and what they sort of see as important in a leader, and recommendations for future leaders. And a slate committee reviews that and recommends some folks to be put forward in nominations. And when nominations open up and people can put their own hat in the ring, or someone else can nominate someone else. But this way, it gives each of us an opportunity to think individually as to what are the qualities we want in a leader, and some people that we think exemplify those qualities, and make those recommendations.
Generally, the nominations work group does that, which is, I think you're the only one on right now.
Yes. So if that's what we want to do, I'm more than happy to. The survey is pretty standard. I could get an old one but it's not so much this group. It's getting everyone to think in their own head as to what they imagine would be good, and evaluate current leaders.
We just did that like 2 months ago.
Okay.
Because we were so late. Yes, we just right when Sarah came on, which was feels like 2 months ago, but it was probably 4 months ago.
So we don't have to do that. And this gives people an opportunity that so what would happen is the group I'm on, if 4 people say, we want David Esau to really, be chair, that, my committee would reach out to David and say, hey, David, there are a lot of folks that would like you. And he says, please, no way. Or he would indicate when he submitted his survey, there is no way that I ever want to be chair. And so you pretty much kind of know. So it's kind of laying all of that out. If that's the way you want to go, let me know now. And if anyone wants to help, I'm open to that.
Yeah, let's get back on schedule and have that at the December meeting, the retreat. So if you want to send out a survey between now and then. And what are folks' feelings about doing a late night December 1st or doing a separate meeting? Usually we do it on like a Saturday morning. It would be via Zoom.
I would be in favor of earlier in the day as opposed to night, and weekends. It's usually been kind of the time when people have time available.
start the meeting earlier as opposed to starting at 7:30, but starting perhaps at 5:30 or something like that, and having a longer meeting, that would be great. And potentially at that meeting, maybe talking about moving up the meeting time from 7:30 to an earlier time. Just putting that out there.
Pretty flexible. I don't really have a preference.
I could go either way. So, Benita, how complicated is it to move our December 1st meeting earlier? And is that something that you could accommodate? And Craig?
I'd have to look at the main calendars to see what's already scheduled for that day. We normally do a earlier time during the day. So I'd have to look at the calendar for meetings around that time. Doesn't have to be, we could change that date for that meeting if you'd like.
Yeah, I don't know that we necessarily have to have 2 meetings in December, so maybe we can move that one either to earlier in the day or move it entirely to a different.
Yeah, I can look at, I can reach out and see what's maybe on the calendar. If you're maybe thinking about what, 4:30, 4 o'clock, 5?
5:30 is probably best for me.
Okay.
Thank you, Benita.
Does the retreat have to be a public meeting?
It has to be a public meeting, but generally it's not a CTN public meeting. Like we've done it at the library where the public can come watch, but it's not a broadcast one.
If we meet as a quorum, it has to be public.
Yeah.
And if it is an official meeting, it has to be public.
I'm just thinking if we're going 4 hours long to get everything in one meeting, then I'm going to want a dinner break in the middle or something.
You can eat while we sit with you. All right, Vanilla, you let me know what we're moving forward with, and if we need any more input on that.
Would it be convenient to have 2 choices put forward, and then we can just see which one is the favored one? Obviously, several would get complicated, but maybe 2 might be useful.
Yeah.
You mean now, or have Anita reach out to us with 2?
Reach out to us with 2,
yeah,
and then see which one works best. Yeah.
Perfect. That would be great. Good idea. Okay, that was all I had for new business. The next thing on the agenda is report from staff, but I don't see any other additional items underneath that. Do you have anything else you want to tell us, Vanina? No. Okay. The next item is reports from committees. So rather than call you all out, does any working groups have any updates they would like to share?
No.
Marianetta and Jamal, if you have any interest in any of the working groups, just let me know, and I can connect you to the people that I am aware of that are on those working groups, and get you on the loop of those. Okay.
Or questions about what they do.
Yeah, we kind of went over that already. Yeah, but if you do have further questions about them, some of the names are less obvious than others. And to be fair, these are the working groups right now. Part of what we do at the December meeting is figure out our goals and what we're going to be doing the next year, and these might all change anyways. So that's, I mean, the December meeting is a great time to kind of figure out where you think you'll fit and see what those groups will be doing, and figure that out then too. So no need to jump in right away. All right, well, before we adjourn, are there any updates people want to share with the rest of the group? Travis, I see your hand up.
Yeah, I just wanted to give 2 quick updates because I know that there were a couple of things that you're kind of waiting on from us. I did have a conversation with the mayor last weekend, I believe, on the city flag project that we talked about way back, and apologies for kind of some delay there. I'm going to we also have Survivor Speak is working directly with staff at this point. And so that is likely something that we will be working on as a city, but it probably will not be coming back to the Art Commission for like a vote or anything like that. It's something that the city staff is working on and will likely be approved at the council table.
Great. Marianetta.
Just had a question. What is the protocol when one of the members steps off of the committee or commission? Is there a letter written to them, or do we have anything in place that acknowledges their time and contributions?
It's a great question. Generally, we just at the next meeting say thank you, or at their last meeting kind of acknowledge them and say thank you. We don't have any formal certificate or letter or anything that I'm aware of. John, correct me if I'm wrong. You've seen more people come off the commission than me.
Usually it happens in the form of a resolution. So resolutions are put forward, thanking them and sort of listing their accomplishments and why they were an important part of the Art Commission. However, in the past, because of COVID and a whole lot of other things, that hasn't been happening. But I think we should acknowledge them in some way officially, because all of this becomes a part of a public record. It goes into our minutes. These minutes are read by some council members, and I think it's important to acknowledge the work of people that have put some time in, even as short a time as they might do. So
the city probably should have something like that for anyone who works on a public commission.
Right.
I think it's the culture of the individual group, and the kind of tradition. I don't think there's anything official I think the point that Marianetta makes is valid, that we should think about that. And we had it in the past. We haven't in the last few years, but it might be a good time to start that back up.
I like the idea of some sort of acknowledgement.
Cynthia isn't here tonight for us to
thank her. Yeah.
To thank her. So I just wondered if there was some formal mechanism that was already in place.
I also try for the commissions that I serve on, as folks roll off, I'll generally send just a personal note of thanks as well. And so that's something that I try to do from the boards and commissions I serve on. I'm not sure if other council members do that for their boards and commissions as well.
It's something that maybe Sarah and I can add to our working group. One of our working group is where we get new people onto the commission, but as part of that work, we could be acknowledging those that go off the commission. So I'll touch base with Sarah when we come up with a formal letter or something that we would mail out.
Absolutely, or a certificate or something that we can put together as acknowledgement and thanks.
Yeah, and if any of you have specific ideas of things that people or groups have done that you think are nice, I'd love to hear them.
I think a resolution, so with Cynthia's case, if you could put together some kind of a resolution to present at our next meeting, that we could pass it officially as a resolution, and you could type it up in a letter form, if something as simple as that. But maybe if we get, we could put give a Macaulay tile, not the one, the Paintbrush award, but just purchase one from our funds as a token of the commission's appreciation, along with a copy of the resolution that went into the record. And the two of you can come up with some great ideas.
We can do that if Allison, we can talk more, and yes, that is definitely something that we can do.
Yeah, great question. I love it.
Yeah, I think that's a really good idea, that we should definitely acknowledge people who've been on the commission. And of course, because of COVID and because of various reasons, what Cynthia's work on the golden paintbrush wasn't obviously visible to the rest of the commission. So it's nice to be able to make sure that those things are appreciated.
Definitely. So your hand is up in the thing. Was there something more you wanted to share with us?
Yeah, I just wanted to share that I hope you will all come to Westside Art Hop, which is taking place on the 16th to 17th of October on the west side of Ann Arbor. And there will be information and maps up on the website, which is westsidearthop.com. And we have about 70 artists this time. So you won't be able to see them all, but come see some of them.
That's great. Have any other things to share? I will share that we have A2 Arttoberfest, our inaugural fine art fair in downtown Ann Arbor between downtown and Carytown, happening this weekend. You may have seen me on Live in the D this morning talking about it. The event will have 70 plus artists. It'll be on 4th Avenue and Ann Street, that intersection. We're going to have Bloom there with meat and cider. The Ann Arbor Distilling Company is coming out with some craft cocktails. There'll be beer, there'll be wine, there'll be live music. Carytown Concert House is coming out with a trio. There's DJ Bats coming, some other performers, and it's going to be a good old time. So I hope you all come out Saturday and Sunday this weekend.
Cool.
Oh, and yes, my husband's reminding me, the one really, really cool thing, it's totally related to this, is we will be doing a printmaking activity using 2 of the manhole cover designs. I went to pick them up today, Benita, and they only had 2 of the designs, unfortunately. I thought we were going to get all 3, but 2 of the designs, the one that's all over the streets, the tree one, and then the one with the kayaker. You can come out and do a print of that either on a shirt or a bag or whatever you bring. You can make your own print of that in the gallery there, the Gutman Gallery. So using those cool manhole covers that we have for some art making. That should be fun too. All right, I know Benita has somewhere else to go, and you all have busy evenings, I'm sure. So without further ado, I'll say goodnight and formally adjourn us.
Motion to adjourn.
Yes. We need a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Good night, all.
Good night, everybody.
Night.